Hi, welcome to another video. I'm Michael from Sanctuary Pest Management and thought this was a good house to share with you because it's something we find is happening a bit lately. We're finding that we're getting a call from a real estate agent or an owner where they've put the house up for sale and when they've got an inspection, someone has come in and noticed termites or that the purchaser has had a building and pest inspection, and on those inspections have discovered termites or a very high risk of it. So this is one such house of one of two houses just recently that we've had to come and deal with. So what happened was the inspection happened, a purchaser came up, had a look at the house, and he was walking around and he noticed up here, so if I can just point you up to this area here, there's a lot of termite mud down here. A lot of this has been knocked down by the owner because he wanted to find out what it was, and then he found termites in the mud. So they've come all the way up here from down here. We don't know if this is the entry point where they come on. It's a very nice house, and this is a cement slab they're on. So they've come up in somewhere. So this is the first place I'm showing you at the moment, and then we'll just move into here. This is the bathroom. So we'll just come in here now. On this other wall, what we found is we've got some mud coming out of the gyprock here, so it is fair to say that this whole wall inside is going to be covered with termite nesting material and many termites. So that's a sign that the termites have really packed this out. Now this is a moisture meter. This is a tool that we use to detect termite activity. We don't use it everywhere, but we certainly use it in bathrooms and things like that. So we'll set it to the drywall setting, and we'll just put this on there. And it's just off the scale at the moment, so termites have a lot of moisture because of the mud that they bring in, and also termites, like humans, have a lot of moisture in them. So this is just, as you move around over here, the moisture stops, so we can track kind of where they may be with this moisture meter. It's very good. It's only one tool that we have, and we have many others. So we'll just back out now. Okay, so we've just come along here. We're only probably about 3 metres away from where that activity was in the doorway that I first showed you. And we're just coming along to this skirting board here. And you can see it sounds pretty solid here. Once we move along, you can feel that paper sound there. So I'm hoping that comes through clearly there. Maybe we can get a bit closer to hear that. So that travels all along here, and then we'll just move into the next bedroom. Okay, so now we've come along the garage. Now this wall here is in direct line with that first doorway that I showed you. Now hopefully, I'm sure this will come out okay. You can see all of this termite mud now coming all the way up here. It goes along here. These main bearers here, which are hardwood bearers, but it's often a myth that termites don't eat hardwood. Well, it just depends on the species of hardwood. Hardwood and softwood, it's not a matter of hardness at all, it's just a matter of the pores and vessels in the timber. That's the only, that's how you tell them apart. So they've come along here and gone up into this area here, and then gone straight up into the floorboards, up into the top level. So we'll go up there and have a look. The termites have also gone along this wall here, but the garage is a little bit packed with some stuff, so we can't get all the way along. But this is quite significant, as you can see. It's not something you want a purchaser to see when they buy your house. Okay, so we'll head upstairs and have a look. Okay, so we've come upstairs now. This is about 3 metres away from that doorway, but we're on the second level, straight up. Now, this bit of framing timber here, or just covering these two sides of gyprock, if we go up here we can hear some solid tapping, but you can also hear the change in sound when you hit hollowed out timber. So the termites, don't forget, will eat to the paint because they can't be exposed to light. So this makes them difficult to see. You would never notice that at all. You would never notice there were termites there unless you sounded them out. So we get a lot of people that say, oh, we don't have termites, without really having a look. And you can't just do a visual check. You've got to tap, you've got to take moisture readings, you've got to do a lot of things. So we'll just go into another bedroom now, in line with this again, up to the back there. Okay, so we've come along again in line with that, and you can see this architrave in here on the door frame, and you can see this termite mud that's going up here. It comes up here, and you can also see it coming up into this main ceiling bearer up here. So the ceiling bearer at this stage does seem rather solid, so that's a good sign. So if we come in through this way, and we'll just spin around, we'll show you just in the doorway here on the other side, we have a lot of termite activity down in here. And then if we come up again, we can see it on the top of the door frame up there. If you can, need to get a bit high, but that's good. All right. Okay, we're back down here where we first started. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bait these termites, because this is a difficult house because it's got some step downs and things like that. So it won't take to a chemical barrier, and the activity is far too widespread to know if it's just the one colony. So we're going to bait it, and I'm just going to look around for a suitable place to bait, and then after I've done that, then we'll come back to it and I'll show you what we've done with the baiting and what we're going to do to set up outside about a termite protection zone using interception and baiting stations. Okay, I've just lost my offsider for a moment. He's outside putting in the system, but I just need to do this quickly, so I thought I'd film this myself and just show you. So this is that area of the wall in the bathroom where they were coming out of the gyprock. So I've put a hole in there, I've walked away, come back just to see if there's any activity. So I've put tape over it, and when I pull it off, let's just see what we find in there. Just quickly. If I could just get in there. So in that hole, I'm out of focus there. You can see termites in there. So they're all around, so that's quite active. So I'm going to put a bait on that. So I'm going to close that up now. And I'll put a bait on there and I'll come back. Okay, so we've done the baiting. So I've put a bait up here on the activity. This is where the wall where they're bursting out of the gyprock here. So I've put that on there, filled it up with bait, and we're going to come back in about 2 weeks. Given the veracity of these termites and the amount of activity that's here, I wouldn't like to leave it any longer, so we'll be back in 2 weeks to check that. Best case scenario is that the termites have eaten it all, and we'll just keep baiting them until the colony is eliminated. I've also got I did find an entry point outside here, so I have put a bait on that as well. Now if we just back out into the area, and then we're just back out here into that area where the skirting board was, where I showed you before where it was paper, so I've put a bait on there too. The termites weren't clearly visible to start off with, but I put a little hole in there, taped it up, came back about an hour later, and the termites were trying to close the hole up, so I found them there, so I've put the bait on that. So I've got 3 baits around now, and that should be enough, and again we'll be back in 2 weeks. It's important to know that we need to find where the termites are feeding. We don't just find activity and then put it on there. There must be feed in there, otherwise they won't take to the bait. So it is a very difficult process, and it does take a lot of experience to do it. So anything to do with do-it-yourself treatments, really, I've never seen one work, and you really need to have those tools, the moisture meter, the radar, Termitrack, which will detect movement behind the walls. You need boroscopes, which allow you to see inside the walls to see the activity. So there's a lot of equipment that you need to get effective treatment. When we come back, we'll also show you what we've done around the outside of the house, where we've put termite stations every 3 metres around the house. But it's not very good weather today out here, and so we're not going to go outside today. So we'll do that next time, and so we'll come back, check the baiting, and we'll take a video of that as well. Thanks.